You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Hour, the show that brings you unfiltered stories and insight from the Twin Cities real estate world with your hosts, Chris Rooney, broker at RE/MAX Preferred, and Andy Presky, leader of the Preferred Home Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Bright and early.
I didn't think he'd make it on time. Just saying. 7
That's
o'clock.
the early one.
Yep.
And a Friday.
I know. I might have to text him.
Yeah, shoot him a message. Oh,
Oh my God, he's here.
Whoa.
He's here.
What up, suckers?
What did I do?
Hey, we're live. Andy, we're live. FYI.
Thanks for the heads up, suckers. How are you guys? You look fantastic.
Really?
You must be living good, guys.
Not
I know
bad.
one of us is
Yeah.
the one drinking the coffee.
You're assuming
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
coffee.
I appreciate doing this Friday because I had the long flight from Thailand back to Poland today, but I got a little under the weather from it was about 24 hours, and then I had to also take a train later on in the day, and I didn't sleep too well. And some guy I met at the lounge in Thailand, he took me he's like, like a gold star member or whatever, and he takes me back to the lounge, and because he liked me, and we started drinking. So we had a lot of drinks before the flights, and it was a long day of flying and drinking, but here we are.
So this will be an interesting show. We he's gonna miss all of his cues.
We're gonna have to
What
talk.
time are you at in Poland right now? So it's 7 a.m. here on a Friday here in the
It's 2 now, so I'm back to 7 hours ahead of you guys. But then in
From
2
13.
weeks, yeah,
Okay.
in 2 weeks I'll only be 2 hours ahead of you because I'll be in Brazil.
Of course.
He's playing in Brazil this next year. So you
playing football in Brazil?
football?
Yeah, I signed with a Belo Horizonte team. It's 4 hours away from Rio. It's like 10 million people, the city. It's going to be an interesting little situation. Yeah, I'm excited.
Did they being naive to the system, so do you every year have your contracts open to negotiate, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think in Germany, some people sign 2-3 year type deals, but mainly it's year by year, and if they like you and you like them, you can keep redoing it. But yeah, I kind of just go with the flow. I've only really stayed with a team one season each time, except for Italy because we didn't play the first year.
Right. That's right. Yeah, huh? Well, good for you, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, exciting. But what do you guys got going on over there?
We're still
Lots of
by the
snow,
way,
I
Chris,
see.
Hold on, Chris. We're still waiting for our jerseys from the national championship team last year, but that's okay.
I have shirts in my bag, so next time I come back to USA, I have shirts you can take. But Dad, you tried buying some, right? And then you couldn't.
Yeah, I think I only had cash, and they wouldn't take cash. They'd only take credit card. I didn't have any.
Yeah. 3XL, by the way, buddy. Extra loving.
That's a good size. Because what happens when we lose weight, they're going to be like pajamas then.
No, we'll just not. Just put it in the dryer and hot, and it'll fit.
Okay.
I learned that over the years when I started doing my own laundry. You kind of eventually figure that out.
You know what to dry and what not to dry.
Yeah. Oh man.
I get one of those things you just stretch it over, and then it kind of pushes it out.
Yeah.
Like both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, isn't it?
All right. What do you think of the market, Andrew?
You know what? So I always like to give a personal view of the world on where we're at. We have seen an uptick for sure over the last week here. And in comparatively now year over year, it kind of feels like the way the year last year started, even though everybody's, screaming doomsday. Nobody's buying anything. Nobody's selling anything. My team, God bless them, are actually staying very consistently busy. Probably not as many listings as we would want. So people thinking about selling, you haven't missed your opportunity. That's one thing I would like to say to everybody is that I think a lot of people that you run into say, well, we know we missed the peak. Well, I don't know if there was ever a peak. It was more of a game. It was, so did you not participate when the game was happening? You missed the market, But here's what's happening. We're still getting great offers with great terms. with great prices, you know, and it's, I don't know. I actually kind of find this market a little more refreshing. I think it's going to get worse. I think it's going to get bullish here, guys. I do. I think that we're going to start seeing as you know, things in the economy click around and all of a sudden rates drop a little more. I think the people are going to come out in droves and put that pressure right back onto those sellers, and you're going to see silly things happening again. So if you're a buyer, now's a great time to sneak out there and scoop up some great values.
Boy, Andy, I don't know. I think it's already started. We
Has it?
have, yeah. I mean, we ended up losing on multiple offers this last weekend. So, I mean, which is crazy. And one of them needed a lot of work. I mean, it needed a lot of work. It was priced right. It had a pool.
Okay.
And so that was kind of a big thing. But then the other one was a cute little place, real nice. And they had a flood of, we got our offer in right away. I mean, the first day. And of course, they waited us out 2 days, got multiple offers, and were able to get something that worked for them better. So I don't know. And then I see there's a coming soon one that we ended up setting up, and we had to grab a spot before they were gone, and they only have half-hour showings at it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Here we go again.
What is it? So why do these agents actually act like, oh, we only do appointments? And I'm like, they're so doing their client a disservice.
Right.
I'm telling you, if you have a real estate agent that's making you time-blocked appointments, unless it's a multi-million-dollar property and you want like Mr. Rooney to walk you through the process and meet the people, then I understand an appointment. I want 10 people in that house at a time. I want them thinking this is the hottest property on the market. I want them bringing their best A game to those offers. And so when you don't allow that, how do you get that organic, natural competitiveness triggered in those people? Because everybody right now thinks it's a bloodbath. The buyers are out there thinking, hey, we can lowball everybody. We can get closing costs paid. We can, you know, they think that it's their turn to finally have, you know, a whack at the market. It's not. What it's in is you get into that anyway. Human competitiveness creates that natural competition. You get better offers, better terms.
You're right on. I mean, especially at the beginning of a listing, you start seeing these other people, and you're trying to whisper, you know, and you're trying to talk, and you're going on your own way. And yeah, it's very frustrating for buyers, but it's the best thing you could do from a seller perspective.
Chris,
just get them all in there.
Do you do old school, like when you're walking through the house? I don't do a lot of showings, but when I do, I'm like, hey, do you remember where they said they found the dead body? Was that in that room or that room? And then I walk by and I don't say anything. And these people are like, what?
Was this that murder house like in 85?
I think this is where they had all the people locked in the basement for like 6
months,
right?
Yeah, it's next door. Yeah.
I think. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you have no other offers. It's nice.
It is funny to watch people, just because I'll do dumb things too, you know, just like, you know, God, this house is overpriced by 100,000. You know, just dumb, and they look at you like you're nuts. Yeah. Like you have no idea what you're talking about.
I was dying laughing last year. So Ryan Sabas, who's the mayor here in Champlin now, congratulations, by the way. He's a real estate agent on top of being a lawn and landscape company. But anyway, we're sitting there and we show up. We always, the same 5 guys are hunting the river houses, you know, that come for sale along the river in Champlin. And we all know the same people. We all know the whatever. And I walk up and here he's sitting there and, you know, talking to his client on the hood of his car. My appointment's there. I walk up and I said, can you believe this guy buried 13 bodies in this yard and nobody knew? And Ryan goes right on the spot. He goes, shut the F up, man. He goes, he's lying. That did not happen. He's a liar. And it was so, and then I literally looked at the guy and I go, I'm just kidding you. I just don't want to have any competition when I write an offer on this one.
It was only 12 bodies.
Yeah. No, but it's you know what's funny is that it kind of relaxes everybody, but on the other hand, it's kind of a fun way for agents to kind of, you know, I would hate to see somebody actually think I was serious. You know, but
I don't think they do.
No. But my client probably, if my client wins, that's all that matters, right?
That's right. It's all about the win.
Yeah, screw win. We want win.
No. Oh, he's back. We're in trouble.
Hey, speaking about the dead bodies, we have a question this week, and it involves let me find it.
Oh.
Speaking of dead bodies, this will be good.
Yeah.
It was about buying a home near a graveyard. Let me see the exact details here. I lost
Okay.
my outline. StreamYard. Okay, thoughts on buying a house in front of a graveyard?
Well, the neighbors are quiet. The
It's great for Halloween. I'm telling you.
easy decorating on October.
Yeah.
The
Hey, are you aware when Andy tells these people 12 bodies were buried on there, that the seller does have to disclose that? That is a disclosable thing. And there was a house in, I think it was Webster, where these people were granted access to it because it was a family plot on that land that was part of the farm that they were selling.
yeah.
And so they could go see the bodies, and the bodies had to be able to stay there.
You know what's interesting, Chris? So I had one of those. I won't even tell the city, but this couple, the nicest couple ever. They had literally they were walking around with a whiteboard for me, and they were deaf. And these guys, it was sign language or nothing. They could read lips, and they literally sat there. And the guy goes, I said, well, tell me a little bit about the area. And he says it's really quiet. And then he goes on his board. He goes, ha ha. And I go, oh, ha ha, whatever, because he's deaf. It's always quiet.
Yeah, right.
And we're walking around. So now I think this guy's kind of joking around with me. And then he writes on the board, he goes, that's my grandma and grandpa. And he points to two little gravestones, like, oh, like a shrine. And he goes, no, they're actually buried there on the bank of the river where they got engaged, where the whole family's started. Yeah. And they buried them where they started their life together. Now, that became a big mess. And once we discovered this near a body of water or whatever, they actually did exhume, pull them out, right? And move them to a graveyard. And so it was because there was a lot of challenges there. So
were they bodies or ashes?
Well, no, they were in caskets, literally buried from way back. Wow. I don't think they asked anybody. I think they just buried them there.
Yeah, right. Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, living next to a graveyard though is probably not the best thing for equity or to gain equity. It usually, for the most part, will scare a lot of people, but for some people, it'll be, no problem. It's almost like being next to a highway, or backing up to a highway where the house is going to be a value. And so let's, for instance, maybe it's $499, but since it backs up to the highway, it's $450. You just got to know that when it comes time to sell, when you're buying and selling. So usually things just justify other things. And for some people, a graveyard's not a scary thing. For some others, it's absolute not a chance I'm going to do it.
Right.
So you guys look great. Come to Poland and sell my house. Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
We're in.
Andy, what do we do?
I think we buy a ticket, Chris, and we get going.
She said, you guys look great. I mean, so this person has a blind issue as well.
Yeah.
And then come to Poland, sell my house. We can do that. I think we could be licensed there.
Well, you made our day, Claudia. Thank
you. Minnesota to Poland.
Hey, this market is hot over here. Poland is up and coming. Everyone wants to move around here, so maybe it is a good area to.
Nick, we haven't done it yet, but we were talking about way back when having you bringing in like a local RE/MAX office. That now, granted, you got to find somebody that will speak English for our show because most of our listeners would appreciate that. Otherwise, it'd be a very long show. Flop, 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 flop. Yeah. And what? That was my version. That was my impression of Polish.
No, we'll definitely get that. There's a lot of RE/MAXs. I see them all over the place, different spots.
Yeah, people, that's one of the biggest things they sell us on with RE/MAX is that they're global. And they literally, when you go on vacation, I always chuckle because I don't even notice it. My kids do. My kids will be on a cruise or on some little island in the Caribbean, and they'll go, Dad, look, a RE/MAX. You can work there.
What are house prices over there, Nick? Translated.
Where I'm in right now in Białystok, I think you can get for sure like a 2-3 bedroom for probably $80,000 in the city center.
That's not
bad. How much do you know kind of roughly what people make a year there? I mean, is that a good ratio? Or
I know the minimum wage is like $3. I think maybe in Warsaw they're making 20 to 25,000, like the average salary in the richest city. Probably a little more now because a lot of like overseas jobs have moved there. But yeah, I mean, I think 80 grand you get a really nice 2 to 3 bedroom apartment in the city center. Housing outside of that, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's too crazy.
That seems like the right ratio,
Let's do it.
I'm in.
Let's do it, Andy. I told you.
Here we go. Got some funky stuff going on with Redfin. They're starting to strip away a lot of features, and here's one of them that people are talking about. I want to hear what you guys think.
Now I have to open each home from my favorite list, scroll down to a sales history, and if they have not removed listed price, then I get to know whether that house was sold at list price or less than asking or over asking. Otherwise, I only see sold at price and not how much lower than asking it was sold for. So basically, they're not getting the original list price to find out how properties are going. And
I don't trust articles where there's misspelt words though, Chris. So
that's a person. That's a person.
Yeah, it was a Reddit thread conversation.
Lowercase i's, history spelled wrong.
That's cool, Andy. You got to know that. On Reddit, that's cool. But anyways, yeah.
He likes me there.
I mean, that feature, I'll tell you what, I mean, what things are listed at, I mean, I guess for some people, I guess that's an important thing. I would just kind of want to know how quick it's sold. Then you know whether it's priced right or not. But people list houses in many different ways. I do. I mean, I never do it really the same way. It's ultimately the seller's choice in what we do. But it's kind of like you might be going in and saying, you know what, this house is probably worth 310. There's just a real go on these things right now. Let's go at 299, kind of create that excitement, like Andy was saying earlier. Get everyone in there, packed in the house, do an open house, or scare them with an open house that it's coming. Get them to write offers, and you'll more than likely, I mean, still today, you'll definitely get more money than the 310 would bring you. So I think it's I don't know, that I don't really care about that feature. I guess I don't know why Reddit would take it out, unless it's just another way to kind of keep it relative.
My guess is they're trying to help anticipate what to expect when they write an offer. Can we get 30,000 off nowadays? Are we getting 10,000 off? And so that's where the Reddit or Redfin or whatever it is was pretty smart by taking it away, because all it does is set your clients up to fail. If the market was trending for a while where there was over or under, and all it does is gives what that individual is willing to pay, which granted, I mean, now you and I have had that argument before where we say that then that's the market value is what people are willing to pay. But I think that you just have where they don't want their website to be used as a tool against the consumer, because then the consumer will stop going there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, to me, a list price is so hard to gauge. I mean, and I love how people, when they go look at these houses, I mean, it's a gauge. It's not like hey, this is definitely what it is. It's what maybe the seller wants or what the agent maybe told them, but it's not automatically, hey, can I get 30,000 off this list price? What if it's overpriced by 60?
Yeah.
And now you're only getting 30 off. So people think that way. That's why you need a realtor. Sorry.
Amen, brother.
Hey, so this is what I was talking about, how Redfin has basically started stripping away a lot of different features, and before it used to compete with like MLS. This is what I want to hear your thoughts on. Do you want to read this?
Go ahead, Andy.
Redfin has been gradually stripping away features for years. A decade ago, they had a really cool tool to run your own comps, better than the paid white label off-the-shelf stuff most realtors had access to. Disagree. Miles ahead of what came with you. I'm sorry, to read different. With you, your MLS subscription. If the free thing is better than the non-free thing, why pay for it? I use a tool myself. When it vanished, then it vanished. Then it reappeared down the line, and I was working with a Redfin realtor. They shut down the public access, restricted access to only their own realtors. Remember, yep, when Amazon used to be about saving money, and then once they captured a percentage of the market share, Then they started being less and less true. And now it's almost entirely about convenience. Totally true.
Yeah.
I find
think
stuff cheaper all the time that's not on Amazon, but
if their own agents have their own access, I mean, that was all about what MLS was. I mean, it was one of those systems that they said, hey, let's all share all of our listings.
right.
And then it was, hey, let's share them we'll share them with the realtors. And then now let's just share them with absolutely everyone. And now they're kind of taking back that, hey, we'll share it with you. We think we got some great technology here, but we ain't giving it all to you. And if you want some more, use our realtors. And what does that mean? That's a way in which to recruit realtors to work for them.
Yep.
And Redfin's a little different. They're getting paid per showings, and there's a lot of, I don't know the whole thing. I know a couple of Redfin agents though that do pretty well.
Well, but Redfin also was using their commission as a negotiating tool for their clients. So they were actually saying, hey, most agents get paid, 2.7%. We'll take that 2.7% and we'll split it with you. And so the consumer would get half of that commission conceded to them. And that's why they would use, not because those agents were better, they were using them to get the discount. So now a lot of purchase agreements with new construction home builders and whatever are already modified that say right in there, if any portion of this commission is being shared with the seller, it will be retracted.
the buyer, you mean? Yeah.
Or the buyer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Beautiful. Before we get into some social media reacts, we're going to do a little commercial for Chris Rooney, Home Experts, and he's got a new website. So we're going to check it out for a little bit, and
Whoa.
you're going to do your commercial, Chris?
We'll see.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's going slow. What's going on?
Are you supposed to be talking about it?
No.
So
I want you to, you can figure out what I tried to do here, Andy.
This is when you were going to cut the commercial. I was going to shut my drapes so you can see my office here.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to say that I did get a new website. It's a luxury and lifestyle type website. See? And it's actually pretty darn good. This company that did it was fantastic. So we'll see if it works. Oh, yeah. Boy, look at that. Even some stuff about you, Andy. Real Estate Radio Hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're still going. We're just not on CCO. You should have that, say, 14, 15 years now.
No, I'm not going to do it. So anyways, it's kind of a new website. And, that's a good listing, by the way. But 6,000 square feet, Andy. See that? 6-bedroom, 5-bath.
Chris, get out there on your skid steer. Let's get that driveway cleaned.
I know. Yeah, we did. That is cleaned, by the way.
Is it?
Compared to what it was. Yeah. So, all right.
Is that a model?
What's that?
Is that a model?
No.
Oh.
No. Existing house actually built in 2006 in Territory.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Good association. Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
Like it.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That software, I wish I could do that. I'd love to be able to create stuff like that, but I can't.
Yeah, I think you still have to have that creative flair, though, too, beyond just wanting to, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be an artist. Everyone wants to be able to sing, but it's like even if you took a bunch of classes, sometimes those people are just really talented. And it's like, I like to harness into those people that have that organic talent and just say, hey, make something that blows my socks off,
Yeah, but you got to have that software to be able to make that come to life. That's what I want. If I could just talk to it, it's just like, okay, make this really cool rooftop.
Sure.
Then they do it.
Yeah.
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 Something like that. Yeah.
Do you do this as like a profession, and basically, how does it work? How does the process work?
Yeah, I actually buy properties here. I'm just a local investor.
Oh, okay. So what if I'm already represented by a realtor?
Do you have it currently listed on the market?
Yes. Well, not yet. Next week.
Yeah, I mean, if you've already signed the representation with your agent, it would be something you'd have to work out with them. Because I can't, honestly, by law, I cannot get in the middle of that.
So then how would that work? Because I have a really good relationship with my realtor.
And I'm not telling you to cut your realtor out.
Yes?
Hey, this is Charlie. We just chatted on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we had just chatted and, you had to act like you were a seller, but you're actually a licensed real estate agent.
Well, I just wanted more information. I know. I'm sorry I lied a little bit, but
Well, I record these phone calls on a video recorder, and I don't really appreciate that. And that's
There you go.
Well, as a realtor, you have to state that you're a realtor.
Thank you.
Oh, you took him off. We're seeing.
What up, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey,
Thanks for putting that on camera, guys. I appreciate you.
Andy, what can't we do? We can't not represent that we're not a realtor. We have to let people know that we are a realtor. It's
Yeah, full disclosure.
we have to do that. It's in our
So what she did incorrectly was she was trying to fish and find out information so she could share it with her office or whoever. See, this guy's stealing all of her business. Well, he's not stealing your business. What he's doing is he's providing a service that's probably what the customer's looking for, right? So then what happens is they prefer to do business with him. They don't have to pay commissions, so they think. And all of a sudden you're like, you got the agents mad. Well, the thing is that not everybody needs a real estate agent. Sometimes investors work. Sometimes I'm just being honest, it does. On the other hand, I would still pay a real estate agent. I'd say, hey, listen, I found an investor. I'd still like to pay you a percentage to review all the documents, help me with the file, make sure that we negotiate the best deal. I'll pay you 3% to do that instead of 6%, right? Most people are like, no problem. I'll do that in a second. Most real estate agents would love to do that transaction.
yeah.
Just because I think that, Chris, I think we're going to see more and more and more of that over our careers here.
Yeah,
I
which
think
is
you're going to see,
which is totally fine.
nothing.
I wonder if he could even record her if she doesn't know it on the phone too. That's another.
Depends on
Depends on what
state you are in.
Okay. Yeah. So it's but it probably depends on what state you're in for the realtors too. But we cannot we have to disclose that we're a realtor. We can't hide that fact from people.
Yeah, I was just wondering if this has happened to you guys in the past, like shady real estate agents doing weird stuff like this to try to get to an advantage.
Of course.
I do. I get it all the time with new construction. They'll call and say, I'm interested in 1234 Main Street. I'd like more information. And first question I ask is, are you working with a real estate agent? And they'll say no. And I'm like, but then they don't say, and I say, are you a real estate agent? Well, yeah. I'm like, you need to disclose that. Hi, this is Andy with Remax. I have a quick question on your listing. That's how you start the process. You don't just decide to add it in when somebody peppers you with questions.
Yeah.
Jerks. I get that all the time though. And I don't know why they do it. I think they're thinking they can get a better deal or a better angle, or maybe that, I offer some magic, deal that they don't get to hear about if they're an agent versus not. But
Well, I think the sad part is that a lot of them just don't even know. I mean, the industry needs help. I'll tell you that.
well, they still let you in with, a 40-hour class and passing a test or two. And all of a sudden you can be a real estate agent. And the sad thing is this, the industry that we're in protects all, not, and so it doesn't allow us to say, oh, they consider, like they project to the consumer that all real estate agents or realtors, whatever you want to call them, are the same. They're not. They are not. It's just like doctors. You go in, are you going to go to Mayo Clinic where that doctor does that same surgery every day on that specialty surgery? Every day, all day long, they have so much experience with it that you're going to get the best possible outcome of that surgery? Or you want to go to a local practitioner that has talked about it, read about it, and they can do it, but they're not an expert in it, right? So it's like they could probably get you through the process, but it's not always the same result.
Internet leads and online signatures are the thing that has created realtors not knowing what the heck they're doing. It's super simple now. I mean, you pay a Zillow or whoever, and they'll give you leads. You just work them, try to get them out there to show them the house, get people to sign stuff online. You don't have to know what you're doing. I mean, it's just a sad reality. And I'll tell you, I guarantee you, you could go, and I don't, I'm not, no, forget it. I'm not even going to say it. Not going to say it. I'm in a joyous mood.
I was writing this down because I like attacking people.
Yeah, I know you do. But
I don't know what that is. That must be genetic, where you just love to.
Yeah, but teach their own. Use who you want. So
Yeah.
This next one, I think it's a good idea for you guys to do. So I want to hear if you will do it soon.
Oh, is this from Claudia again?
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here. Zobu, zobu, reigning by
Great, let's go.
What is she doing? Or what are we supposed to be doing?
She's like a superhero.
She's a what?
She's like a superhero. You need a realtor and you do some cool poses like that.
Well, she definitely has her outfits. My goodness.
I think it was one outfit.
I think you and I'd even fit in those pants. We should start wearing gold foil pants around Chris. It's a new. If you've sold over 1,000 houses, you get to wear the gold foil pants.
At one
Like
point,
the jacket the yellow jacket in the Masters.
at one point, I was gonna do like a red blazer, wear like a suit coat. It was gonna be all red, and it was gonna.
I'm in.
I was gonna
And I'd
show
support you.
everyone. Yeah, great marketing.
Here are 4 government incentives to save you money on your first home purchase. Number 1, the Home Buyers Plan. You can withdraw up to $35,000 tax-free from your RRSP in order to purchase your first home. You'll have 15 years to pay yourself back, starting 2 years after you purchase. Number 2, land transfer tax rebates. The amount of land transfer tax and even what it's called varies from province to province. For example, in BC and PEI, first-time buyers could qualify for a full refund. In Ontario, you could get up to $4,000 rebate, and in Toronto, $8,475. Number 3 is the first-time home buyers incentive. The government will contribute 5% towards the purchase of an existing or new home as shared equity. You repay them in 25 years or when it's resold based on the fair market value. Number 4 is called the home buyer's amount. You may be eligible to receive a tax credit of up to $750 for a qualifying house purchase. This number.
In
Canada. Yeah, my bad. I just I missed that first time.
In Canada, I mean, $750 is nothing, but there's a number of programs here in the U.S. as well that can help you. And what I think she was saying at the beginning was more or less on a retirement program that you can borrow from that. You can certainly do that here as well.
Yep.
There is many income related help that you can get as well from the United States. So there is quite a few programs that we have here. I don't know. Those didn't look that exciting. How about that shared equity?
Well, no, the 5% equity share is an interesting one because in Canada, they don't have FHA. So they don't have their 3.5% down programs. They want you to prove you can put 20% down because prices in Canada were skyrocketing to the point of where a normal person's house was 1.4 million and people weren't making that kind of money. So they had to make a killing on equity on one house to go to the next house. So these banks were like, if we're going to lend against these houses, we want 20% down. This was a few years ago, probably 2012, 2014. Actually, this is where RE/MAX pays its dividends to us because I was sitting at the RE/MAX International Conference talking to a couple of salespeople from Canada. And that's exactly our market's on fire. They also get paid commissions totally different, which is another topic. But when it came right down to it, a 5% equity share, you still have to put 15% down. But now that's like their down payment assistance programs, giving you 5% equity that you have to pay back.
Yeah. So I wonder if that equity just goes through the whole thing, like the government maintains 5% ownership.
They do.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like.
That's interesting because if you have like upgrades and so let's just say I bought a house that wasn't that great and I took the money and fixed it up and raised the value of $100,000. I mean, I'm basically giving the government an extra $5,000 for getting me in there.
I think that the trick there would be to refinance before you do the improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Canadian market's even more crazy now. Like they talk about for the younger people, getting a starter home is like nearly impossible near any of those major cities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
been that
know
way, Nick, for a while.
you millennial Canadians gonna pout about that too, or what?
Oh yeah, they do a lot on Reddit. Yeah. Well,
Well,
they're talking
they're
about
social.
because a lot of immigrants and foreigners buy property in Canada, like Vancouver. It's all like Chinese owned, and it just jacks up all the prices. And they're trying to get Trudeau to do something because the Canadians can't afford living. But
Yeah.
all right, let's get into.
They should go to.
And their healthcare isn't good either. Give me a break.
Here we go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, these kids want a guaranteed sale program too, Andy.
Yeah. Because what if it doesn't sell?
All right, Andy.
I'm sorry. I really do like 3 Canadians, and they're all very nice. One of them was my fishing guide a couple years ago. He was very nice. All he wanted to talk about was President Obama. The whole time we're fishing, and I'm like, I don't know the guy. I just know he was our president, and this guy kept having all these questions. I'm like, again, I don't know the guy, Steve. They're just fascinated with our whole system here.
God, they
Everybody
should
in
be.
Canada is obsessed with America's politics and with our whatever, because it's just so different, right?
I wonder what they think now about the whole everything going on.
Probably
in this world.
glad they have their troubles.
Oh, anyway.
Hey, Chris, before we go into our little role-playing segment, how about we get Andy to do his commercial off the top of the head? Do you want to give him a prompt at the start on the fly?
Yeah.
Oh boy, Andy, I have a home that I want to be able to sell, and but I have one in mind that I want to buy right now. I just don't have the money to do it. What can I do?
You don't have the money to do what?
I don't have the money to purchase a new house, but I do have this house I have a sell, but I got to buy this other one because my friend is gonna 100% give it to me for a great deal, but I got to close in a month, and I can't get my house sold that quick unless you can do it.
Well, what we can do is why don't we go into place, take a look at the other property, make sure we're getting the purchase correct, making sure the property is what you think it is. Let me take a 2-second look at that house for you just to ensure that that is worth all the effort we're going to put into getting your house sold. Once we get your house sold, I'll make a 30-point action plan that'll get that house sold in today's market based on the best responses from the best marketing tools available to you as a consumer. I can make it pretty easy and pretty smooth, but I just want to make sure to look at the new buy first. Let's take a look at that, and then let's get your house listed.
That's Andy
Are
Prasky.
we role playing or what are we doing here? I don't know. It was fun.
No, you're doing a commercial.
That's a commercial?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, you have to finish it and say, and I'm Andy Prasky, leader of the preferred home team.
It's not just a name; it's a legend. It's just kidding. No, give me a call. I would really. What I would say is this. Actually, right now, if you're thinking about selling your house, don't hesitate. You haven't missed the market. There's still wonderful opportunities to sell, and there's pockets where we can find opportunities to buy. So what a lot of people are doing is they're positioning themselves to be able to be a buyer first, using the equity in their existing house, and then they're going out and actually making the purchase first. A lot of times, if we can stretch the purchase forward 2 months, we can get your house up for sale and sold before we have to actually have 2 mortgage payments or have to, trigger any kind of a specialty loan to get us into that house. So that being the case, a lot of experience doing that. I've helped probably 50 customers in the last 2 years doing that, getting, the buy before the sell. It's a very, very, makes it easy, right? So then it takes all the stress out of the market. Give us a call if you want to try it. AP. So I sign my emails too. I just say AP. The original Andy Prasky, not Adrian Peterson.
Oh boy, here we go. This is the role playing thing, Andy. Which one do you
I
want?
want you to dance on your feet.
I can dance.
All right.
No problem.
All right.
The great dancer.
all right.
You want me to start?
You are listing a home that needs a lot of work. Stains on the carpet, dirty. Needs a new microwave. Siding needs paint, and the sellers are reluctant to do it. How do you help them get the most money in return?
Okay, so I'm going to be doing that. So obviously there's some deferred maintenance that you have in your home that is going to affect your sale price. And so we could do one of two things. Ultimately, you're the one that makes the decisions. I'll give you that information so you can make the decisions. But if we were to be able to replace that carpet, get a really good cleaning in here, making sure the microwave's got to work. I mean, an appliance, they can't come in and it's not working. And then touching up that paint on the siding. If we do that, you probably got about, 10 grand worth of repairs, but you're probably going to increase your value probably close to $40,000 to $50,000. Is that something that you'd be interested in talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. So, a lot of people, what I've found is a lot of people don't like to do repairs because they don't have the money really to do them. Is that the case here, or?
Yes, I gave all my money to a foreign woman named Claudia, and we fell in love on the internet, and I gave her all my money, and so I'm pretty much broke. But I'm going to try to move there and find her.
I understand. She sounds like a nice girl, and I think that's a good decision on your part.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I can do, because I am your agent, is that what if I was to be able to loan you this money so you'll be able to make those repairs and turn around and get a better deal? Would that be something that would work for you?
But I just don't want you to charge me too much, Chris.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, as part of, being my client and working with me, and, that since we're going to list this one and sell you another one, that there is no charge. There's no fee to that. We just borrow you the money, you get the work done, and we get it sold. You're happy. You tell other people about me, and everyone's happy. And Claudia is really happy because you're going to make extra money to be able to send her more money.
Claudia has a mink fur fetish, and she has lots of fur coats she likes to wear. So
I heard they in Poland, fur is a good buy. So you're gonna, that 30,000 you got is gonna be really well.
I couldn't take that any farther. I don't know enough about Claudia to make fun with her, not of her.
That's all right.
I think that sounds like a great program, Chris. I would be very intrigued with that as a seller. That not only are you going to help make the transaction happen, but you're going to put a little grease on the deal and help the thing keep moving, which I like.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to, but I'll tell you what, and it is big because most of the time clients don't want to do work. They say they don't want to do work because they don't want to waste the time, whatever, but it's usually because they don't have the money in which to be able to do it, the available funds to be able to do it. And they don't think it's going to make money. Now, if me as a realtor can come in there and say, hey, based on these things, if you do them, I mean, you're going to be able to make more, and I'm willing to borrow money towards that, then you're probably thinking it's probably a pretty good deal as well in which to do.
Sure. Yeah, there's even a few companies now, Chris, I'm sure you've heard of them, that are out there that actually they're contracting firms that will come in and they'll perform the work like Chris just recommended. Yeah. They finance the entire project for you, and then you pay them back at closing. And I was shocked, Chris. I don't know if you've looked into these, how reasonable it is. It's not, these people are not, I think where they're making their money is on the profit on the work. They're not trying to make the money on the interest.
Andy, I did one of those, and I actually did a bid from them.
Yeah.
It was 3 times the amount.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy. I mean,
so we had one of our team
15,000 to 50,000 is what it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, we had somebody come in and they had some cabinet work they had to have done and some trim finishing, flooring, and they spent about 40,000, but they got about 60,000 more for the house, and it sold when they were done. Yeah. So not everybody, has an agent that'll do what you'll do. That's very nice of you.
Well, we're just trying to make you some money so you can buy those fur coats.
For Claudia.
Hey! Sold, and I'm moving right now.
Do you like the mink coats?
What?
Do you like the mink coat, the fur coats?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Andy was saying. He needs to make a lot of money to pay for those.
Hey, at least we have a listener here, Andy. This is nice.
I didn't know that was a real
Poland.
I am so excited right now for Nick. I'm just proud of he's my son now too.
He's your son now too.
Hey, we're just friends.
That's okay.
That's for you, Andy.
Here
you go. I'm gonna get the next. What'd you say?
I just was gonna say I envision Claudia being older in my head.
Like an old Slavic woman, a babushka, they call them.
No, I didn't say old and gross. I just said older.
All right, let's do the next.
Oh God.
This
What are we
shows
talking about? Andy,
We're
your
talking-
buyer has been looking for a new home for 2 months, has
Yep.
lost out on 2 other homes and multiple offers. They love this one. They want to, but they want to have an inspection. You know, a contingency will most likely kill the deal. What do you do?
I would schedule an inspector for you guys to come out during our second showing and do a quick, what they call briefing on the house. And if you feel comfortable with the briefing, where they go through and they're looking at it from a, you know, they're getting their hands on things, they're looking at it. They're not necessarily doing the complete inspection, but in a half hour, they can get all of it looked at pretty closely to give you enough information to at least know if there's any red tape that we have to cut or go through. Otherwise, you know, you might feel better about making an offer. If you want a complete inspection, you're probably in this situation. Sounds like we may be in multiple offers. Unless you're going to pay a lot more for the house and make it non-contingent upon the inspection, which is a choice. But then why would you make it upon inspection?
Mhm. Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think I should pay $500,000 for a house that I could get a 30-minute inspection on?
Should you pay what?
I mean, on my second showing, let's just say they're only giving us a half hour to which to show these houses. Can an inspector, what can he get through in that 30 minutes to be able to make
Well,
me
most of them
feel?
will look at the major stuff. They're going to stick their head up in the attic if they can, if it's available. They'll a lot of times look at the utilities, you know, and then what's nice about appliances and utilities, buy a home warranty if you have any of those items to cover that. But I mean, the major structural foundation, does it need a new roof, new siding, new windows? That can be done a lot of times by the agent. But what's funny is that agents, even with agents with experience, a lot of times it's better to bring along that home inspector that has a different set of eagle eyes that will, you know, look a little more intently and know if something's a problem or not, versus just it doesn't look pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes we'll get, pushback when it comes to that pre-inspection because they don't even know if they have the deal yet. But there's give and take. If you want to try to get the house, you can't have contingencies. You just can't. It's against you. And I'll tell you, many times I've tried to talk the seller into, you know what, it's in your best interest to have an inspection. So there's no problems later on. And so we don't have to worry about them or getting cold feet prior to closing. Now, these people come in, they're completely, we're not going to go after anything small. Let's just say throw a dollar amount out there. If it's under $5,000 for a repair, we're not going to say anything. Yep. So, and we'll have it ready on Monday. The inspector will be here on Monday in which to be able to do it.
Most people, Chris, by the way, that I've dealt with that are sellers, where we've seen contingencies like that, where they say, we're doing a home inspection. So that clears both of our curiosities. Because you as a seller, then we feel like we fully disclosed. We'll sign an as is after we do the inspection, and we won't bug you if it's under or over under 5,000. And most sellers are like, yeah, that's fair. Because I mean, all they're looking, they don't want to get nitpicked out of $2, $3, $4, $5 grand. But on the other hand, if it's a $12,000 problem, I mean, I think even a seller would look back and say, okay, we get it.
And that's a disclosable thing. And a lot of times what I tell people is that, there's a lot of these issues that you might think there is. People have to disclose them. If they don't, you have the right in which to be able to go back after them. But it's not like if they tell you there's a leak in the basement, I mean, that's what your inspector is going to try to find. And if they don't tell you about that, the neighbor does. I mean, you can go after them. So obviously go after them after the fact, and it's a pain in the butt in which to do, but you can certainly do that. So.
Beautiful. All right, let's make over some houses. So I'm going to go on the Zillow and we're going to pick like 4 or 5 houses, and you guys are going to quickly say, okay, hey, how are we going to really make over this house? It's going to be a rapid fire.
Andy, I have to tell you one thing quick. Remember last week when he was picking those weird houses out of the blue and then we'd have to guess the price?
Yes.
I ended up talking to the person that the one I did at a lake event in Prior Lake. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was the craziest thing. I'm like,
how random is that?
I said, where's your house? I said, yeah, it's just going on in Summit Oaks. I'm like, is it $950? They're like, yeah. They're like, no way. I said, I totally went over that house. So,
So you burned another opportunity, huh?
exactly. $895. Forget you.
Yeah, I wouldn't offer a penny over $650.
All right, let's do some makeovers.
Okay.
We like doing that. We like making fun of people.
Fun with people.
Fun with people.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Get out of
boy, here we
Burnsville.
go. Oh,
Do something crazy.
New construction.
Oh, that seems reasonable.
You can't do that. That's too easy. Oh,
Another
oh, boy.
1 mil.
Crimson Court walkout
Yeah.
Rambler.
Let's make
In
this maybe a
Lakeville.
$2 million home.
All right, give me some pictures. Number one, if I'm listing this house in the winter, I got to have some winter photos to start it off with. Feels to me
Are
it's
we
been
gonna
on the
go back
market
and
a long
forth
time.
this? Are we gonna go back and forth on this, or do you want to
Yeah,
go?
yeah, you guys work together.
Okay. First of all, I'd say you have $100,000 house garage doors on that house. I mean, those are the cheapest garage doors you can buy. That needs to be upgraded immediately.
Andy, that
Yeah.
would change that whole look immensely. Good.
Oh my
good,
God, yes.
Good choice.
Thank you. I'd put winter
Ooh,
pictures.
under garage.
That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. I don't like that little stain at the bottom of the piers, but
Yeah.
no deck off that little door. If it's over $1 million house, you got to have the decks on. I mean,
Yep, we do.
there's 2 deck ledgers there that are missing a deck.
Okay.
Okay, it's oak. So that house has been around for a
Well,
little while.
what do you? Is it oak or is it maple? Looks like it
Oops.
might be maple, Chris.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
I think it's
They
maple.
got the hemlock doors where they do that cheap. I call it the poor man's maple doors.
Yep. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Keep
It's
going.
contemporary. It looks nice. I mean,
Yeah, they opened it up. Staging is,
well, okay. Let me ask you a quick question. When he flips back around, so they got the Sub-Zero fridge, a lot of that cool stuff. I think the darker granite dates it. I think the built-ins also date it. I've dealt with this in my own house because I wanted to pull my own built-ins out, just because it screams 90s, early 2000s, and nobody does them now. I mean, there's like little to zero cabinetry put. We'll put like bookshelves next to a fireplace now, but we never do the whole like this is about a TV area.
Yeah, I think Andy. What I think on this house is that there's probably just too much to maybe update in the inside, but it's clean. It's really turnkey. That maybe if you just do something like you said with that garage door, it's got a beautiful curb appeal, and the fact that it's a walkout Rambler on acreage in a good Lakeville location, you're going to be. I think you're going to be a lot better off.
You made a good point though. Nick said make it a $2 million house, so I'd completely do a new kitchen. I'd do new kitchen, new built-ins. I'd redo that whole main area there.
If you were selling, you'd take that chance to do that?
No, he said make it a $2 million house. Go.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
New kitchen, new decks. I'd have all that on there.
There you go. Yep, no problem. I agree. And I think you got to enamel every piece of that woodwork as well.
Get it white, get it clean. Yep.
Yep.
Did
All right.
Claudia get involved and you're sleeping over there? Or what's happening over there, Nick?
No. All right, we'll go. We'll
Claudia,
lower
leave
this
Nick
price down.
alone.
She's
Leave Nick alone.
she's waiting for Amazon Prime to deliver her mink.
Yeah. On its way, trust me.
Okay,
You
guys.
got
so
Amazon
these ones-
Prime over there, Nick?
Yeah, you can get over here.
Okay.
All right, so now let's turn one of these homes about let's add
Okay.
$200,000 to $300,000 to make it better. So Andy will go up in your area. How about Brooklyn Center?
It's a good spot for him.
That's,
Ooh.
hold on. That's a little too. Let's get it a little bigger. 4-bedroom. Oh, can't do that one either.
Why not?
We can do anything, man.
This one.
There you go. What a wonderful opportunity to introduce yourself to the Brooklyn Park community. Beautiful property here. So what I would do is what am I changing this into, Nick? So go from 320
To 500 plus at least, yeah.
Oh, 500 plus. You need to add some stone on the front of this house. We need to take the shutters down. I'd redo the whole facade on the front. I'd get down the iron railings. I would put something else up there. I'd get a new garage door. I would do the new front door. I can't even see it. And I know we need to do a new front door in the house. To 500. Yeah, I'd probably re-look at that kit. This is paint. It looks like it's painted cabinets with new granite, and they overhung it a little bit on the side so they could put a garbage can there or something.
I know what you do, Andy. You pick it up with a trailer and move it to a different spot because I don't think that neighborhood's going to get you 500.
Well, it's a game, Chris. So thanks for playing along.
Just saying.
This isn't realistic. Monopoly's not real.
Hey,
I'm not going to
this
play.
ain't no game.
Hey, the idea there is that if somebody did say, hey, I want this to be $500,000, not that it would make money or not. I think there's some simple things that are in these houses that are, obviously when you get into an existing home like this, people are going to be looking at the windows, the mechanical systems. They're going to be looking at the landscaping outside. Is there usable space? How do you access the yard? Obviously, it looked like they got all new carpet in there. I got to be honest with you. I struggle when you go from that 300 and over 500. Oak I would repaint that room. Oak needs to kind of go away. Don't you agree? I unless you go with like quarter sawn oak, which is fantastic, or wider plank oak, which I've seen used right now, which is really nice. But I tell you, man, that old Princeton trim and flat panel cabinets and I don't know.
I know
it's done its job. It's time to retire it and put it, put something new in there.
Next.
It's amazing how you could retrim a room so reasonable and then add that new look of a newer house into it with thousands of dollars, not tens of thousands. And
you just got to give them something that they're not getting at their price point, add in, give them something. If you're at 320, give them something that the $500,000 houses have. And that'll just excite the heck out of them that they can maybe create something more. And now all of a sudden you're getting 350, but I don't think that house you're not ever getting. I don't care what you do, you're not getting 500 grand for it.
Yeah, no, I know, but that was the game.
I know, but I'd like to.
Hey, Nick,
I have a good one here. Okay, here we go.
Nick, we need to make sure that our games are realistic for Chris, or he won't play.
This one is in a good area, and we're gonna take it and try to get it over $1 million.
So get over $1 million.
500,000. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll show you right here.
Where's my moving trailer again?
Whoa, it's on the lake, huh?
Let me see some more pictures so I can kind of look at this thing.
You didn't just suggest a match, did you?
I know a guy. Okay, just give me more pictures. I need more.
We suggest insurance fraud.
Okay, it's on a lake. Oh, look at this. This might be. There might be some intrigue here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I maybe clean it.
That's a cool room.
There's some possibilities here.
Yep.
I hate to say it. I mean, when you're on water like that, I think you got to create something more mid-century modern, kind of white cottagey, all white with some accents to it, maybe some gray. Keep these fireplaces and stuff, but I think it just really needs to kind of be more mid-century modern, more sleek. Gosh, I mean,
I have a question. So you have time to make a fire, but you don't shovel your driveway, and you have garbage growing on the side of your house.
But that's opportunity. Yeah. Well, do you see the kitchen counters? Show those kitchen counters, Nick.
Yeah, and I see the rotten window there through the side of the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
that looks like a foreclosure. Nice stove, but man.
I love the cleaning supplies over the sink, though. You never put those underneath. But I think you can. I mean, that's a nice range. I mean, they've got some potential. I think it's opening up, making that kitchen kind of flow with the rest of the house. I mean, if we're going to get it up to $1 million, we're going to spend probably 300 grand in which to be able to do that.
My only criticism is that I'd want to make sure that pond or pool or lake or whatever it's on isn't like a freeway off ramp pond. And it's because I saw those mega like 3-tier power lines out there on the second picture you showed us, Nick. See that right there, the upper left?
Those are the Highline wires.
On the train tracks there too. So that's train tracks right there, Chris. So you're looking at trains and power lines. The Lucy line.
Lucy line. Is that
Lucci.
Gleason Lake?
Oh, that's a nice area.
Yeah. Sneak in a little more. Can you make it satellite, Nick? I gotta see this. Oh, it's a little. Yeah, see, look at how low that is. So it's that water. I mean, especially now is low and a lot of weeds. It's really interesting sometimes on these aerials where they'll show you just switch the angle a little and you'll find out like things like this. I'm looking at a property and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. And then I switch the angle on the aerial and then it shows all the weeds that were there. And so the aerials hit it at different times. Like one would have been in the spring and one wouldn't have been in the late summer. And you see the difference. It's very interesting. Just saying.
I agree. I think the tools now that are available to the consumer, like in the beginning of the show, they were complaining about the data being missing now. But a lot of the photos are there. And I had a website that my IT guy was helping me with that would go back and it timestamps websites. And so you can go back to a certain date and it'll show the pictures that were on that site. So you can see like old listing photos. You can see like stuff that's disappeared actually reappears. It's called like Time Machine or something like that. Those of you that know IT. What's that?
There's like Wayback Machine where you can go to old websites and anything.
Yeah, it goes back and screenshots websites. I mean, it was funny. The reason why I know that for one of the builders in Dayton, I listed their house and they're like, oh, that's a floor plan they don't have anymore, whatever. I went way into the Wayback Machine and I actually found the website, found the actual model home that they bought, downloaded the blueprint. No joke. It was really cool. So I donated $20 to they ask you for a donation. So I donated $20.
No, it's a good website. Really cool. They save everything.
Huh.
Well, it's really good if you ever get into trouble. Like if there's something that you said on your website, it was only.
Yeah. Next time I'll make those rules a little more clear on the makeover because I think we can have a lot of fun with that game. But everyone, give us a review on the iTunes and Spotify. Our link tree now has all our links for websites, where we stream. Give us a thumbs up. Send in any questions you have, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, I have another guest on too.
Isn't this where Claudia says buy houses from Andy and Chris?
We can get that commercial going for next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Real Estate Radio Hour. Don't forget to visit our website, realestateradiohour.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or your preferred podcast listening app. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or sharing us with a friend. Until next time, stay awesome, Twin Cities.